What time is it, my creatives? That's right, it's photo hacking time, and today I'm going to teach you how to do this cool photo masking effect using my Photoshop watercolor brushes. So, just a brief overview, these are the watercolor brushes. You can get them in my shop, either in my Etsy shop here, or you can get them in my photohacklovers.com by simply searching for watercolor brush, just like so. And they will be here and you can go ahead and download them. So I'm going to teach you some really cool effects. If you can see in the examples here is you have all these cool different watercolor Photoshop brushes to do all kinds of photo effects. And some of the things I wanted to show you in the example files of how to use these. And these are all the different things that you get. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So what we're going to first do is, if you haven't already, I'm going to minimize all of this. So you will get a file like this, the 100 color brushstroke creator kit, and you will have these files. What you're going to want to do is double click and open all of these into Photoshop. Same as with the styles here. You will find everything that you need here in a Photoshop. For Photoshop. And this is the watercolor paper background. I'm going to open this in Photoshop. All right, and I'm going to edit, define pattern, and you can go ahead and use this as a background. So I'm going to create a new photo setting here. Portrait landscape, like 4x6 is good. It depends on what you're using. If you're making, I believe there's one site where you can do like a whole bunch of free 4x6 prints. So, excuse me, I was a sip of coffee there. So you could use that. That's pretty good. So this is very simple. What we're going to do is we're just going to select layers. We're going to unlock the layer here. We're going to select the layer here, and we are going to, I'm just going to pull this out so you can see it. This little FX button at the bottom, this layers effects button. We're going to go to here. We're going to go to pattern overlay. And we're going to choose the pattern that we just defined, which is this one. So we're going to press snap to origin and press OK. And this is going to kind of give our background kind of like a watercolor effect. And I am just going to rasterize this layer and lock it. So now we're going to press the plus button and create a new layer. So with this layer selected, we are just going to start taking our brush and stamping out different patterns here. It doesn't matter what color it is because we are going to, of course, mask it out and use the style. So I am just stamping some different shapes here. Now, if you want to change the direction of the brush, you're going to want to get your brush settings palette out, and you can just turn this wheel and it will turn it in the direction of where you want to go. So I'm just going to stamp something out here. It's not exactly straight, so I'm just going to straighten it a little bit. There, that looks good. And we're just stamping out some random shapes here. I'm just going to get a circle one. You can change the size by selecting here. And that is the wrong size. I think I made a different brush from that. There we go. I was making little gold speckle brushes too. So, and this type of brush too. So I was making all different kinds of brushes while I was trying to do this tutorial. So we're just making random masks here. It's just literally no rhyme or reason to this. Just random shapes because we're going to put the photo on here in a mask. So I'm going to get a straight up and down one. So I'm just going to move it this way so I can cover that hole. And just a little bit more weird, edgy stuff going on. There we go. All right, so there we go. So now we have our photo montage here. And so now what we're going to do is you want to grab a photo and just click on your selection tool here. And we're going to press Control C. And you can use any photo that you want. I'm just using this as a stock photo I got off of, I can't even remember. Sorry. One of those free stock photo sites. If you go to my blog, there is a list of free stock photo sites that you can grab free photos from. Oh, it's Unsplash. I'm sorry. I was having brain fog there. So I got the photo from Unsplash. My bad. So you're going to press Control V. And you're not going to seed it first, so it doesn't matter. Just press Control T. Control T gets your transform. And press the Shift and hold down the arrow key and just drag it out until it gets to the size where you want it to be. Now, you can put the whole picture in here, or you can just put like a part of the picture. You can decide what you want, but I'm just going to do that for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to Layer, and then Create Clipping Mask. And that is going to create like kind of like a lighter version of this, but there's another way that we can do this to kind of make it a little bit better. So let's just press Control Z. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn off this layer, okay? And I mean, the first one creates like more of a double exposure effect, but what you can do is if you don't want that double exposure effect, you can use these styles over here to basically thicken it up. And the darker you get, the darker the photo gets. So like, let's try this one to see how it looks. So turn the photo back on, the eyeball, and then go to Layer and then Create Clipping Mask. As you can see, it's not showing up because we didn't rasterize this layer. So just press Control Z. So I'm going to rasterize this layer and then just go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask, and now you can see it. So it's not as dark. So just press Control Z and Control Z. So what we'll do here is if you create, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm going to clear that layer style. I'm going to turn this off again. So if you create a darker, like the darker the mask is, then the darker your image will show up. So I'm going to rasterize that. So I just want to let you know that. So now that we have this little bit darker, the image is going to show up a little bit better. So I actually noticed that his head was cutting off. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to press Control T. And I'm going to flip it vertical. So this side shows at the bottom and that side shows at the top. And all I did was press Control T and then I right clicked in here and I chose flip vertical. Okay. So just press Enter and to accept the changes. I'm going to turn this layer back on and then I'm going to go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask. Now it's still a little bit light, but that's okay. I'm going to show you another trick. You can duplicate this layer. And let's just turn that off. And press like a multiply, create a darker, merge down, and then do a layer, create clipping mask. Oops, wrong layer. You always want to have the right layer. You can press Control, and then Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And what it does is it will only like go into the holes, and now you see it's a lot darker. So I'm going to show you that again. I'm going to press Control Z because that was like really quick. Okay, so what I did was I clicked in here and I pressed the Control button, okay? And so it has marching ants just around here, like around the edges. And I am selecting the top layer. Notice I'm not selecting the bottom layer. I only clicked in here and pressed Control, okay? So this is really tricky. Clipping masks can be really tricky. So you select the top layer and then go to Layer and then Create Clipping Mask. So now you have the cool effect where the holes in here and it looks like all masky and everything. And this gets even better. So if you wanted to just like add some stuff back in here or add some more clipping mask on here, you can just add a layer mask here and then go here and just take your brush and start adding stuff back in. however you like. So I'm just going to take the brush down a little bit. Oops. And then just click on that part of the layer, and then you can just add parts of her hair back in and just make it kind of like whatever. So, I don't know. however you like, you know what I mean? It's just literally, you can add like a little bit more grungy effects. If you wanted to add like different brushes, you can. Just make sure you choose this part, the pink part right there. And then you can flip the brush around again and just add different pieces. So I didn't like that part. So if you do something, you make a mistake, just press Control Z. And literally, I'm going to flip this brush all the way around because I want the tip on the other side. So I'm just going to flip this right like that. So now my tip is on this side, so it has like the pointy edge. So I can have like pointy edge. And then I can flip it back around and then make sure it's like a little bit more straight. And then put the pointy edge up there. And then now we have like all this cool stuff going on. And then we can do it sideways. We can make this brush sideways. Of course, I wanted it to be the other way. So yeah, like that. So now we have this like really cool effect. All right, so let's say that you had this piece in here, like this piece right here, and you wanted to erase that. Well, that is definitely doable. So what you can do is you can go in here and get a regular brush. Where is it? It's like a regular brush. I don't know. Like a regular watercolor brush, like a circle one. And just paint over it to remove those spots that you don't want on their faces or something. So that is really cool. And basically what I'm doing, I'm like here, I'm using this one right here, this brush. I'm just painting over so like I can get it more clear like in the face or whatever. Now how I got the text in here like this, all right, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I just took the type tool out and I wrote the words love. I mean, really not that complicated. And sometimes Photoshop can be quirky. Uh-oh. All right, let me give you this layer and I'm going to show you something because in order to get out of this clipping mask, you're going to have to choose the very tippy top layer and then press the plus button, okay? So you press the plus button and then you can do the type because I always forget to do that. So I'm just going to write the word love and then press OK and then press Control T. For some reason, my Photoshop makes my type really small and I think it's a bug in Photoshop. So I don't know. So this is a Lantern Rosie. I'm using this font. You can use whatever type you want. This was going to be, I'm going to do love stories. This is going to be story. Oopsies. And this is in all caps, so I have to take that off of caps. So I'm just going to do love here and take it off caps, love. And I'm going to use a different font for love. I used Gallison Design Script. Don't ask me where I got that from. I don't know. You can use any scripty font. Pretty sure it'll work out for you. And then I just chose gold on top. And then you can either, I think the pink and the gold look really good together actually. But I'm going to use the darker gold like I used in the other example because that also looks good. And then I just made a speckle brush, but I have lots of speckle brushes in my packs if you don't want that. If you've purchased my other packs, I'm not sure. So of course you're going to press a new layer and then you're going to choose this little speckle brush I made. Now how I made this brush, it's very simple. I just used a regular brush here and then I took out the spacing and added a scattering to it. It's that simple. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the gold style to it, to that layer. And then I'm just popping out some some gold flakes here, a little bit everywhere, and now we have our design. So that is how you make one of the clipping masks. So another way that you can do this, there's plenty of ways that you can do this, but this is just one of the ways that you can do it. So let me know if you like this tutorial, if this was helpful to you. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like this video, please subscribe.